Hi, I'm Michelle Johnson. Thanks for coming to Quiltinator.com. We're going to make a better pressing surface for our quilts and our pieces today. And this is a great ironing board to be able to take with you. I have worn it to ribbons and it is falling apart, and I need to get something else to cover the back of it. But basically we're going to make something very similar. Before I had a dedicated space to do all my work on, I bought an over-the-door ironing board, and 11 years ago, and I have worn it till it's rusted. So it's time to replace it. I just went to Target and bought a standard size ironing board. It's kind of the smaller one. I measured it across, and it's 13 inches across, and it's just a little over 4 feet. So I went to the hardware store, the home store, and I bought a piece of wood. Traditionally, wooden ironing boards are made of beech, but they didn't have beech in the price I wanted to pay. So I just got a piece of pine, and it's a seconds, what they call the seconds. It's not their best quality wood, but this only has 2 little knots on the front and like 3 or 4 little knots here on the back, and none of them are sunk in. It's all very smooth. So I'm really happy with this piece of wood, and it cost me about $7.50. You can still today buy wooden ironing boards. If you search it up online, you'll see that they're made of beech wood. But what we're going to do is we're going to just make a topper for this ironing board. And you're going to need heavy duty aluminum foil, sandpaper, staples, a marking tool, some cotton batting, not any polyester of any sort, cotton. And then I'm going to actually cover mine with a silicone ironing board cover. But I know some people like to have a more rough surface, so if you would like a different ironing board cover, you can make your own. That would be just fine. The first thing we're going to do is just going to measure the, we're going to lay the piece of wood over the top here. And I'm going to put it this side up. The standard piece of wood, I got a 1 foot piece. And it will not go all the way to the edge of my ironing board, and I'm okay with that. The back end pieces here, if you can see, I am moving. I'm just adjusting, and this is the rounded part. And if I were to push it back flush to the back, we'd have overhang. So I'm just sliding it up, and I may get the jigsaw and slice this off. That was the other thing you need, is a jigsaw. And that's what I used, or my husband used, to cut the legs off the table. So all we're going to do is just mark on either side of the ironing board where we need to cut, and then we're going to take that measurement and we're going to measure in about 1/2 to 1/4 of an inch on either side, just depending on how large you want. I would say 1/2 inch on either side, because there's about 1 inch on either side on the bottom, and that'll just taper it off nicely for you. So I'm going to mark this, cut it, and then we'll be right back. Hi, I'm back, and I'm going to show you what I've done so far. We have sanded all the places that we cut, and what I did is I marked the where the board lined up with the ironing board on the bottom, and then I measured in 1/2 inch, and that's where we cut off. So that way it would line up on the edge nicely and leave a little gap. And then I took heavy duty aluminum foil and I kind of wrapped it like a present, and I just made it smooth on the one side that's going to be my ironing surface. And it doesn't matter if it's the shiny side or if it's the dull side. Just wrap it smooth, try not to have any wrinkles in there. And this is my wrong side. This is going to be the side that faces down. And I am taking a very thin layer of cotton batting. Very, very thin. You don't want too much batting in there, because batting, too much loft is going to distort your pieces. So that's why you want a nice hard surface. So what I'm going to do is finish, cut off a little bit of this, finish folding all this over taut, just pull to, nice and smooth, no wrinkles, and staple it over, and I'm going to just flip it over and put on the new ironing board cover. I'll be right back. Here we are with the final project, and it fits very nicely on my base ironing board, which, like I said, was just a very inexpensive one from Target. And I just stapled the thin batting around, just like you're wrapping a present. Stapled it down, made it nice and smooth. You do hear the kind of crinkly sound, and you'll get used to that. I actually learned this from a quilter who is no longer with us, and she kind of did this for, I think, probably 40 or 50 years with her ironing boards. And I thought, well, you know what, it's time for me to give it a try. So now all I'm going to do is just cover it with my silicone ironing board cover. And I have most of a usable surface. And then I've got some little clips to put it all in place. But this is not a portable one. This is just going to be staying here at my home. I'm sure I could use it as a portable, take it around, because it's not that big. But this is just going to be staying here in my ironing space, my dedicated space. So hopefully you give this a try. Let me know how you like it, and if you can find beech wood, for a reasonable price, you might want to give that a shot, because that is what the traditional wooden ironing boards are made out of. So, thanks so much for watching. This is Michelle Johnson, Quiltinator.com, and I'm getting back to quilting.